Hey guys, welcome back. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about everything I'm doing to stay organized as a brand new creator on YouTube. So, for those of you who've been following, I've only been on platform for 3.5 months now. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing still, but that's all part of the fun. And what I've been trying to do is just share my experience with you as I learn it in real time. And so, in today's video, I'm going to do a screen recording and I'm going to share with you all of the different backend systems and tools that I have in place that's helping to keep me organized and in a perfect world on track in terms of hitting deadlines for my upload. So everything I'm going to be showing you will be free tools that you can use yourself. I'm also going to make copies of the different documents that I'm using. I'll put them in the description of this video. Feel free to click on those links, make a copy for yourself. If you want to use any of these templates, you are more than welcome to do so. They're free, of course. And then also in the description, I'll put chapters. So if you want to fast forward to certain tools or certain things that I'm talking about, you don't have to sit through the whole video. So hopefully that's easier for you guys. But yeah, all of this in an effort to just give you a little bit of inspiration to show you what another newer creator is up to in terms of like how they're staying on track and organized. Obviously, you don't need to do what I'm doing. You can come up with your own system, but this might be just useful for you to see for inspiration or to get some ideas. So let's jump right in. Okay, so the very first tool that I'm using to keep track and stay organized is Google Docs for my video scripts and my outlines. So, what you see right here on the screen is a running history of every single video I've produced so far on my channel, all the way back to my very first video down here, 001. You'll notice each of these has a little label where you can expand it and collapse it. And what will happen is if you expand this, you will get to see all of the stuff that went into the creation of this video. So I'll start off here at the top and we'll just kind of go down so you can see what my rough video outline looks like. So this is video number 23. It was posted on Tuesday, probably Thursday, October 11th. I'm not sure what day of the week that was. I put a chip right in here, which is the link for the YouTube video. And then underneath it, I have my thumbnail. This helps me to remember the video itself. And then I have my hook, which I fully write out in, I would say most of my videos, I fully write out the hook and then I kind of just say it to the camera, hopefully in one shot. Otherwise, I just kind of wing it. But in this case, I had an actual hook that I tried to use at the beginning of the video. And then down here is the actual value of the video. These are going to be the different points, the different bullets, the different topics that you're going to go through. If you're like, top 3 reasons to do X, Y, and Z, you kind of have them all labeled and listed out. So you can see the level of detail that I put into some of my videos. This is an anomaly. There's a lot of detail in here. And most of my videos, I don't have nearly as much detail. This one I highly scripted because I was trying to emulate another more established creator's video as best I could. So I really was kind of in detail overdrive there. But I just wanted to show you this so you can see an example of what one of my video outlines looks like. Now, the reason I like doing this in Google Docs is one, because it's free, and two, because I'm not really sure what other software is out there that I could be using. But one of the great features about it is that it's really easy to collapse these so that you don't have to scroll through endless pages of different older videos just to get to the topic you want to get to. So you can simply expand and collapse. And then within each one of these, there's different headers as well. So if I just want to look at, say, for example, I just want to look at the hook on this video, I've collapsed everything else out. And that's because I've created all of these sections as different headings. And you can change the headings right up here at the top. So when you get your hands on this, because I've created a copy of this document, down in the description, you can grab your own copy of it. You will have all of these headings pre-built for you. I'll show you exactly what it looks like to take the template and then to create a new version for your next upcoming video. But I just want to show you really quickly all of the different sections within it. So I've got my hook, which is the very first part where it's, like I mentioned, a lot of times it's trying to be attention grabbing. And then from the hook, I try to go into a little bit of intro. You've probably heard me say in previous videos. If we haven't met before, my name is Ty, and on this channel, we do all things YouTube studio monetization and channel growth. That's my intro. And then after that, we get into the value section. And that again is collapsible, right? You can grab each of these. If you just want to look at some of the sections, you can quickly and easily expand or collapse them. And then after that, I have my end screen sales pitch, which really should be me saying, hey, now that we've gone through the top 5 reasons for X, Y, and Z, in order to put them in action, you need to watch this video over here. And that gets you to binge my content and look to the next video to stay on the channel. So that's kind of how I have my outlines parsed out. It's hook, intro, value, end screen. And the acronym is HIVE, HIVE. I didn't make that up. I stole that from somebody else. I cannot remember who it is. So sorry if that's you and I didn't give you attribution, but that is the acronym for easy remembering. All right, so let me show you what the version will be for you guys. So again, in the description, you can grab it. It's going to be this exact copy you see here on the screen. I have removed the majority of my videos since you don't care to see that, but I did leave you with 5 examples, and I tried to give you some diverse examples that you can look at for ideas on how you can do your outlines for your own videos. So the first thing you'll see here at the top, this is an affirmation. I stole this from Ali Abdal. If you've watched any of his content, he'll sometimes talk about the affirmation that he will read out loud to himself before he records his videos as a way of reminding himself not to be overly critical about how he performs in his video. It's kind of like a de-stressing mechanism. I absolutely loved it. I stole it basically word for word, and I will read it periodically to myself to help me take some of the pressure off when I'm trying to film. So you guys can keep that if you want, otherwise delete it or make your own. And then this right here, this script template video XXX, this is going to be the master template that for any time you want to do a new video script or outline for, you're going to copy this and you're going to paste it. So what you'll do is you'll expand it so you can see all of it right here. You're just going to copy all of the info right here, copy it to your clipboard, and then right underneath it, you will paste it. So you'll notice we have now 2 versions of it. You can collapse the first version because you're going to keep that for future use as your master template. But then on the new one that we just pasted in, here's where you can rename it to video. Let's do 029. And then you can put the day of the week and the date. So we can put, I don't know, let's just put Sunday. And what is that? 11/3/24. And then you can put in your title. This is where my title would go. If you have an idea of what you want to put in your thumbnail, you can put in whatever, start now, something I see a lot on people's thumbnails. And then here's where you can type in your hook. What do you want to say when you open your video? How do you want to grab people's attention? So this should be either a bold statement, maybe something controversial, could be a question. Whatever you want your hook to be, you can list your hook right here. And just make sure you practice it a bunch of times so that when you do film, it comes out really natural and organic. And then I have my intro. This is again to remind me to say who I am and what the purpose of my channel is about, so that as people watch my content, they start to realize, oh, this is Ty again, and he's all about this YouTube channel growth stuff that he keeps talking about. So that's how you help build your brand. And then here's where you can list out your first point, your second point, and your third point. So this could be first point, and then if you want sub bullets, you just hit enter and you tab forward, sub bullet 1, sub bullet 2, so on and so forth. If you're like me and you suck at scripting word for word, you're probably better off doing these outlines. Otherwise, if you're okay scripting and writing things out word for word and you can memorize it and you can repeat it back to the camera, more power to you. You can do both of those in this template. And then down here for your end screen sales pitch, this is going to be probably again something that you want to script. And you kind of want to be thoughtful in advance. So you really have to think about, okay, the video I'm making right now is about how I'm staying organized. What do I want to link to after this video? Do I already have something in my catalog of videos on my channel that I can link this out to in a cohesive way where it makes sense for someone to want to watch it next? So I'll think back to what I've already recorded. I have a video on file management, which might be a good follow-up for this video potentially, although I'm going to cover file management in this video. So just think about what you have and what makes sense, and that's what you can put at the end of your video to get people to binge your content. So that's it. And then as you get to your 30th and 31st and 32nd video, you will just copy this all over again, paste it, rename it, and then start to fill it out. Now, one quick tip you might not know about are these smart chips. This link right here. So this is actually a hyperlink for my video. You could grab this right from your own YouTube channel. You just grab the link for your video and you can come in here and paste it. And normally what would happen is you would just have the full URL, but what it's looking to do is create a smart chip for it. You'll see this option that says to replace with. You click that right there, and it includes that smart chip. So instead of looking at the ugly URL, you see your actual video title. This functions as a hyperlink, so you can quickly click on it, get out to your video if you do need to take a look. And what's great about these smart chips is that you can use them in both Google Docs and Google Sheets and other Google products. All right, moving on, we're going to go into the monetization tracker in Google Sheets. So most of you have probably seen this in all of my recent YouTube Studio monetization update videos. But again, I'm going to make a copy of this for you guys. You can access it in the description, and then you can start loading in your own data if you want to track, like I've been tracking week over week to look at your channel's performance. So the first thing you will see in this document is a README tab. I'd recommend just taking a quick glance at it. If you get stuck anywhere, come back and reference it. It's going to have all the instructions you need for it. I will also keep a tab of my own analytics in here as an example that you can reference if you choose to, but you will have your own version. It's going to be down here at the bottom. It's going to say your monetization tracker, which you can then rename to whatever you want, but it'll be completely blank. You can fill it out as you like. Now, the way I've been tracking all of my stuff is at the weekly level because I'm still so new on YouTube. I've only been on for, I don't know, 15 weeks at this point. So I'm still looking at that week over week view. But for those of you who've been around longer and you want to look at a monthly view, you can certainly do that as well. You can just rename it from week to month. And then you can change your date range from a 7-day period to a 28-day or 30-day period, whatever you like. So that's entirely up to you how you want to track that. Now, if you want to keep the weekly view, but you want to start tracking it today at the weekly view, but you have 6 months of data that you've already established on your channel, you can simply in this week 1 row just include all of your existing data, all of your views, all of your watch time, all of your subscribers as like the last 6 months or whatever it is worth of data. And then going forward, you can start tracking it at the weekly level. So it's really up to you how you want to do this. For me, as you can see in here, everything's been weekly. So I'm going to show you here a demo of how I update this so you can see how quick and easy it is. Again, I do this once a week. It doesn't take more than a few minutes, and I'll show you that right now. So what I'll do, I'm going to come down. We finished week 14. We actually, as of today, finished week 15. So we have another full week of data we can add in here. I got to get that next row beneath row 14. So I'm going to click on the row below it. I'm going to right click and do insert row above. And then I will add in week 15. And then what we have to do next is go into our YouTube Studio and grab all of the data. So let's do that right now. Pop over into my YouTube Studio. We'll come into analytics. And then we have to pick our date range first. So for me, we'll go to custom. And the date that I'm looking for is last Friday, October 25th through this past Thursday, which is the 31st. This is my weekly snapshot. And we can see some of our data right here, but we don't have all of it. So what we're going to click on next is see more. And then we will add in one metric for average percentage viewed. And now what we have is a weekly snapshot of everything I need to put into my Google Sheet. So I'll try to memorize some of this stuff right here. We'll go with total number of views is 2551. Subscribers we had was 73, I believe. Watch time was 184.5. Average percentage viewed is 30.7. Oops. And what you might find is if they don't format correctly, just copy from the row above it and then delete it out. And then when you type it in, it should have the correct formatting, in this case, the parentheses. So we'll do the same thing with click-through rate, which is 3.2. And then finally, impressions. 56577. We'll do this 56.7K. Our date range is going to be 10/25 through 10/31. We're not earning any money through AdSense yet, so we'll leave that at 0. And then the date we updated this is going to be 11/1/24, and we did post 2 videos. So there is our update for week 15. And as we input all of this data right here on this row, you'll notice up here, the bar graph changes, it increases, and we're now up to 89.9% to our subscriber target of 1,000, and we're at 33.1% to our watch time target, which is 4,000. Now, the progress bars might not even be relevant for you if you've already surpassed your 1,000 subscriber target or your 4,000 watch time hours. But what you can do if you want to set another target for yourself to keep track of, you can simply come into these cells that has the progress bar and you can change the value right here. So for example, if you're trying to climb to 5,000 subscribers, you can simply change the 1,000 to 5,000. And when you hit enter, it will adjust the bar graph accordingly. So now you'll notice I'm right around here as opposed to over here on the right. And you can do the same thing with your watch time hours as well. So now that you have all of your data into week 15, the last step is going to be to update our line charts right down here. So you'll notice they're still only at week 14. They haven't pulled in any of the week 15 data quite yet. And that's okay. We got to come over to the right side here. We're going to input week 15. And then what we'll do next is we're going to grab the percent to target for subscribers and watch time. We can get those from these cells right over here. I'm going to pull in 89.9% and 33.1%. The next two are the number of weeks to hit our target. So according to my current trend, I have 2 more weeks to go before I'm going to hit my 1,000 subscriber mark. And I have 30 weeks to go before I hit my 4,000 watch time hours. So we'll include that data in here. And now we are good to go. You can see the you'll see the line charts have fully updated. We now have all of our data in here, and this document is officially updated. So again, you can grab the link for this in the description below. If you have questions, throw them in the comments. The next item is my content calendar, and this happens to live in the same exact document that my monetization tracker lives in as well. It's just a separate tab that you can click into, and it's going to include all of your videos, their thumbnails, the hyperlinks, the questions that you're trying to answer, the date that they were posted, the style of video it is. So here's a quick look going back to my very early videos. You can see they're all right here. At the very top, I have the date it was posted and the video number. I've got the title, again, using the smart chip as a hyperlink. And then I have the thumbnail, which you can see right here. And then I have the category of video it is. Now, this is something you might need to adjust and edit for yourself. For me, I really make content in 3 different categories. I do a lot of tutorials and screen shares and how-tos. That's one category. The other category is sort of self-reflection style videos of me just kind of talking about my experience on YouTube. And then I also do a lot of analytics updates videos, so I'll classify those as analytics as well. Every now and then I might review something. So for example, I reviewed vidIQ in a previous video. I labeled that one as a review video. I may end up doing live streams at some point. So try to think about the different content pillars within your channel of the different video styles that you'll be doing, and that's how you can label them in this document. It's a good idea to have a good mix of content so that you're not just producing the exact same style of video every single time. Now, in addition to that, I have any material on YouTube or elsewhere that happened to be a source of inspiration for the video that I produced. So you'll see all of the source content listed out here. I again include the hyperlink as a smart chip so that I can quickly and easily access any of those videos if I ever want to come back to them. And then down here is where I will put information on my end card. So if I want to link them out to a video specifically in the end card, I will put that right here. Otherwise, if I want to do like best for viewer or link out to a playlist, I'll make sure to denote that here at the bottom. And then also finally at the very end, the questions that I'm hoping to answer in that video as a way of keeping me on track so that I'm not completely derailing myself as I start to film. Because every video that you approach, it's a really good idea to have a central theme or a central problem that you're looking to solve for your viewer. So I try to come up with a couple of questions that I really want to get to the core of for each of my videos, and I include them here as well. Now, I'll just take a quick scroll up so you can see how things look holistically from the channel. This is going through what, 28 videos now at this point. And then what will happen is as I complete these two videos here on the left, I'm going to have to create more space at the top right here. And this is also good too if you are maybe more organized than I am and you happen to be good at planning out future videos 2, 3 months out in advance. Like, good for you, more power to you. I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm really just planning out 1 or 2 videos ahead at a time. But here's where you can start to put in some of those titles of those videos that you intend to make in the weeks and months out. Now, at the very top, I'm including just rough video ideas or video titles that I may want to record in the future. Um, these are all of them right here. Not all of them are good. A lot of them are bad. So I'll not be making all of these videos. But this is just a way for me to keep track of some of the different ideas that I've come up with over time. Now, as I mentioned before, some of these drop downs you may want to change. And the way to do that is you simply just click on the little down arrow right here on the right. And then there'll be a pencil icon here on the bottom right for edit button. If you click on that, you will then be given this kind of toolbar on the right side where you can then edit and adjust some of these. So, for example, maybe you do book reviews. You can type book review and then you can save that, and that'll be an option in your drop down. So when you make a copy of this for yourself, I will keep this Ty's example content calendar here just for you to reference in case you want some inspiration or to see how I've been doing it. But you will have your own tab right here. It's called Your Content Calendar. Rename it if you like, and it is completely blank. So feel free to start filling it in with all of your stuff. Okay, our next point of organization is specifically within the browser that you're using every single day. And for me, I live in my browser. I'm always on YouTube, I'm always in my Google Docs, and all of those are accessible within Chrome for me. Now, you may be using Safari or Firefox or another browser, but they're largely all the same and have a lot of the same functionality. So what I'm going to show you here in Chrome has a lot of application in other browsers. So within any browser, you have a bookmark bar where you can save hyperlinks or you can save folders that include hyperlinks so you can get to them pretty quickly. For me, I'm trying to stay organized, although I'm definitely not perfect. I have folders that are specific for YouTube. I have one that really houses my Google Docs and some of the YouTube videos that I want to reference back to, plus some of the other tools that I might want to access. Then I have a whole nother folder for just production tools, things that will aid me in building a video. So things like Canva, although I do use the Canva application on my desktop, but other AI tools or thumbnail testing tools or image generators, resizers. And then I have other folders for like miscellaneous stuff that's non YouTube related. The other thing I want to show you are these groupings. So, what you'll notice here at the top, I have these kind of labels, and each of these labels you can click on and it'll expand to show you different tabs within that group. So, for my email and calendar label, I have just my Gmail and just my Google Calendar. And if I want to expand or contract it, I can simply just click on that and it'll kind of collapse all of those tabs so I don't have to see them when I'm not using them. The same is true for YouTube. I've created a YouTube group. In here, I can get to my channel analytics and I can get to YouTube fairly quickly. And then I also have some social platforms like School and Facebook that I access specifically for YouTube as well. Those are all within my YouTube social group. And then finally, I have my different Google Docs that are in this YouTube content grouping as well. And so for me, all of this is just a way of being able to access some of the most popular websites within the tabs quickly and easily. So I don't have to constantly go into my bookmark bar or go do a Google search for them. They're just readily available right when I need them all the time. All right, last but not least, We're going to talk again about sexy file management. So I did make a whole video on this, but I'm going to show you again so that you have everything in a single video that you can reference. On my desktop, I have one folder for YouTube. When I click on this, I then have this, what I'm calling is the root layer that has all of my folders for all of my videos. And you can see this right here. These are all of the videos on my channel. Now, if you're on Windows, that's okay. You can have the same exact file structure that I'm showing you here on my Mac. It's pretty much the same process. So just follow along as best you can. But imagine for a moment you want to emulate what I have right here. If you think this is a good system for you to use, you're more than welcome to borrow it. I'm going to show you how to make this, and then we'll talk a little bit about the naming conventions as well. And again, all of this is couched in this sort of way of staying organized, keeping all of your files neat and tidy so that if you need to access them in the future, you know exactly where everything is. So we'll start from the beginning. We'll just create a brand new folder on our desktop. We will name it YouTube Videos. And then within this folder, we're going to create another new folder. And we're going to call this one master template copy me. Now, this will be the master folder that we make copies of for every future video that we make. All right, now the next step is to add in some subfolders that are going to house all of the different media assets that we'll be using for our future projects. So now that we have this folder highlighted, we will click over and do new folder, and we're going to name this one_a roll. And that's going to be our folder for A roll. We'll do another one. You guessed it, for B roll. We'll do another one for audio assets. And we'll do another one for image assets. Another one for video assets. We'll do one for thumbnails. And then we'll do our two folders for the final thumbnail and the final video render. All right, we're almost done. We need to get in our shared asset folder, but this is actually going to be an alias of a folder, which doesn't mean it's a direct copy. It means it's just a link to the original source folder. We're going to come in here and we're going to create a new folder. We're going to call this shared assets. And then we will make alias of this. So you can right click on it, click on make alias, and you'll see that there's an alias right here. We'll drag that into our master template, and then we'll rename it. And now it lives here as an alias to this original source folder. So our master template is now fully complete with all of the subfolders that we need. Now, if and when you have a new video project coming up, what you'll do next is you'll simply grab this and you will duplicate it. And you're going to rename this. And the way I like to do it is I do the date and then the title. So we'll do the year first, then the month, then the day. And then the title will be something like how I'm staying organized as a new YouTuber. So there we have it. We have our very first folder of our upcoming video that has all of the subfolders built in. And then as you are building this video and you're generating these assets, you will then want to file those into the corresponding folder here as a way of just keeping them all organized. So again, I'll just show you quickly what it looks like in my version of this. Pull this window in here. And we'll take a look at this video from October 14th. Now, within my A roll folder for that particular video, you'll see the different A-roll clips that I have in here. Same thing with B-roll. There's a variety of B-roll clips, which is me sharing either Canva or something off of my smartphone or maybe something from Amazon. I don't have any audio assets for that. I have a few screenshots that are right here. And then in here, I have all of the different still images and movie file from my thumbnail. And so it's a good idea to house these somewhere in case you need to change your thumbnail at a later date. You'll have some images that you can quickly grab to generate that new thumbnail. And then finally, in my final assets folder, I had a couple different versions of my thumbnail. And then I have my final video that will be uploaded to YouTube. So all in, you can see how everything is sort of neat and orderly. And if you want to get to any one video's thumbnail quickly, you can just pop into that folder, come over to the thumbnail, and there you are. You have your final thumbnail versions. Or if you need to access your final render of your video, you know exactly where everything is, in addition to all of the other assets that helped you create that final product. All right, so that was a lot. And obviously, some of this stuff may not be applicable to you if you've made it this far, by the way. But the idea here was just to hopefully give you guys some ideas or some inspiration, or just giving you another way of thinking about how you can organize your own YouTube video catalog, because there's a lot of moving parts, right? When it comes to starting a YouTube channel, there's just a lot to think about. And for me in particular, because I'm a little bit OCD and I'm tend to be a more organized or detailed person, a lot of these systems that support the effort of creating my YouTube channel, they go a long way in keeping me sane and just making sure I'm not overly anxious because I just don't know where things are. So this is a good way to keep some of your sanity if you're like me. If you're not, and you're just a giant mess, and you work well in a chaotic environment, more power to you. This will probably not work for you. But anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any questions, hit me up. And if any of the documents are not working correctly, leave a comment and I'll make sure I get those fixed for you. But appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.